back to Friday 50/50. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. I'm laughing because I never know where our conversations are going to go. So it's like, get ready.
That's
strap
awesome, because
in.
neither do I.
What are you going to talk about today?
I know. What are we going to talk about? So we put a survey on LinkedIn because I'd had feedback that I shared here that our episodes can go a bit long.
Oh.
And I said, what do you reckon? Cut it up or go as long as you like, Tam. I think that's how I literally put the words. And the results were 58-42. 58, make it shorter, 42, go for your life. I thought, oh, that's pretty close. And then I thought, no, if that was an election, that'd be a landslide, wouldn't it? So we'll
Does
go
my
with...
vote count?
What's your vote?
I voted for go as long as we like.
I know.
So you can probably bring it down a little bit.
Look, we'll try and keep themes together, but I get it. And I appreciate my brother-in-law's feedback, right?
Yeah.
I'm a listener. We're learning and growing.
We are.
So what we'll do is we'll do our normal thing and then we'll cut it up if we need to, which we did last time.
We did.
We did a part 1 and a part 2. So as we arrived today, I had just read and heard about this woman that had passed away in America who's a well-known poet. I didn't know of her, called Andrea Gibson, and she passed away very, very recently this week. And she wrote this poem about grief, and it was quite extraordinary. And I was sharing with you before we started today, in my life so far, I have escaped the process of intense grief that many people have gone through in their lives. And I thought, I wonder if this would be comforting if I was in that process. It felt like it would be. I shared it with some of my friends who've been in that position, and I thought I might read it today and see what you think.
That's
and
lovely.
see what the
It's a
audience
lovely way
think.
to honour a poet is to read their work, isn't it?
Oh, wow. It's so beautiful. So how this came about was she had written it prior, and then in her last interview, which was maybe on NBC Chicago, she read it out loud to her fiancé sitting opposite her as it was being filmed, and read it to her, and of course ended up very emotional. So it's called Love Letter from the Afterlife. Her name is Andrea Gibson, and we'll put a link on if you want to have a read of it again or watch the video. But I'll read the story because they put an ad in the middle of the video. Can people not be stopped and pick your moment, people? Okay, I won't be able to read it with her heart, but I'll try. Love Letter from the Afterlife. My love, I was so wrong. Dying is the opposite of leaving. When I left my body, I did not go away. That portal of light was not a portal to elsewhere, but a portal to here. I'm more here than I ever was before. I'm more with you than I ever could have imagined. So close, you look past me when wondering where I am. It's okay. I know that to be human is to be far-sighted. But feel me now, walking the chambers of your heart, pressing my palms to the soft walls of your living. Why did no one tell us that to die is to be reincarnated in those we love while they are still alive? Ask me the altitude of heaven and I will answer, how tall are you? In my back pocket is a love note with every word you wish you'd said. At night I sit ecstatic at the loom, weaving forgiveness into our worldly regrets. All day I listen to the radio of your memories. Yes, I know every secret you thought too dark to tell me, and love you more for everything you feared might make me love you less. When you cry, I guide your tears towards the garden of kisses I once planted on your cheek, so you know they are all perennials. Forgive me for not being able to weep with you. One day you will understand. One day you will know why I read the poetry of your grief to those waiting to be born, and they are all the more excited. There is nothing I want for now that we are so close. I open the curtain of your eyelids with my own smile every morning. I wish you could see the beauty your spirit is right now making of your pain, your deep-seated fears playing musical chairs, laughing about how real they are not. My love, I want to sing it through the rafters of your bones. Dying is the opposite of leaving. I want to echo it through the corridor of your temples. I am more with you than I ever was before. Do you understand? It was me who beckoned the stranger who caught you in her arms when you forgot not to order for two at the coffee shop. It was me who was up all night gathering sunflowers into your chest the last day you feared you would never again wake up feeling light-hearted. I know it's hard to believe, but I promise it's the truth. I promise one day you will say it too. I can't believe I ever thought I could lose you.
So beautiful. It did make me cry.
Oh,
Right. It's absolutely beautiful.
absolutely.
And I believe every word of it.
Yeah, I do too. Even though a little bit like having a baby, I don't think you can know what it's like until it happens. So it's sort of, for me, grief exists like a spectre in my future, and I'm frightened of it.
Yeah.
But when I read that, I thought my experience of people who've passed who have been very close to people I love very much, I can feel that in even how I feel about them, let alone the person they were so close to.
Yeah, it ripples.
It does. And you can, with one person in particular, I feel them more since they've passed than when they're alive. I feel their spirit so strongly. And it's helped me have a faith in many things. So
Yeah,
thanks.
I don't know how I would have felt about that before if I hadn't experienced it. It's interesting. Yeah, interesting you say that.
I think for those of us lucky, if that's the right word, to have not had to manage that as yet, it gives a possible future comfort.
Yes.
That could be a bit better than what I'm frightened of. And I think it would hit at a whole different level if you'd been through that loss.
Yeah. Yeah, it really
it's
did.
Theoretical.
It really did.
More than, it's particularly
Everything
beautiful.
did, actually, after I had my experience. It was funny, even like when we were watching TV and just noticing all the people that die on TV. And I was like, how did this many people die on TV before? And I never really noticed it before.
I've become
It's
much
weird.
more aware.
It really was. It really was a bit like that. Like every TV commercial and weird things. It's like, yeah, it's, I don't know.
We were talking about it before we started as well, how now for you, being aware of death is very enlivening, right?
Yes.
Because it is actually a spiritual practice, and there's leaders in this idea of be very aware of death because it'll make you really live.
Yeah.
And John Rodell, who we've spoken about here, he wrote the poem about, my heart and mind divorced years ago. It's what made him internationally famous, was this poem about my heart and mind divorced years ago, and eventually I ended up living in my lungs and just breathing. His name's Rodell, Roedel, if anyone wants to read that poem. It's pretty beautiful.
Yeah.
Anyway, he wrote something recently and he said, we're all together in palliative care. You know, palliative care is the end of a long death, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, and then I thought, what a fantastic way to realise how short this whole story is.
Absolutely.
We're all supporting each other in palliative care. I think certainly when I was younger, if you'd said to me thinking about death is a great way to live, I wouldn't have understood that. Would have been like, radio, palliative care, how positive. But it definitely has me love life, and definitely if everyone's like me, and as from talking to people, most people are, the older you get, the more appreciative you get, because I think the thing is looming, right? Even if it's 40 years away, if we're lucky.
Oh, wow.
Still,
I definitely feel, wow, I'm halfway. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. And like Sam Harris would say, this might be our last conversation.
Yes.
And that's when it really is a bit of a mind. Woo!
It is. It really is. Yeah. Today, I mentioned to you, is the anniversary of my late husband's funeral day. But on funeral day, I always watch the funeral. And some people have said to me, that's so morbid. Why would you do that? And I'm like, no. Like, I have to watch the funeral on funeral day. It just reminds me to live. And also, the funeral was a celebration of his life, and I like to celebrate him on funeral day. It's weird, I know.
I don't think it's weird. Now I want to cry because I was there. And the thing about him and that celebration, as terribly sad as it was, wow, that guy
Beautiful.
lived in the years he was around.
Yeah.
He lived like we're talking about. He lived like I don't have much time. And when I heard all the stories and all of the liveliness of his life, and I thought, wow, that guy crammed a full life into about
Yeah.
half the years he should have had.
Yeah. Yeah.
Super beautiful and,
Yeah.
and sad, yeah. And I makes sense to me.
Yeah, good.
Makes sense to me. I think it's a great idea. Yeah, wow. Yeah, that was, yeah.
Good poem, Tam. Well selected.
Well, thank you. I thought it
Well
was,
selected.
yeah, very beautiful. And thank you to Andrea, who's literally just passed over. Never met her before. And she actually wrote that poem, she said, about 2 or 3 years ago. And she wrote it for people who were grieving. And then, of course, it became her own to-be story that she read to her
I
fiancé.
wonder if she had an inkling there.
I wonder.
Yeah.
I thought that about Dave too. I thought, do people have an inkling and then live
Yeah.
with gusto?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that can happen.
I agree.
So what I'll do is pause in case that's episode 1, because I don't know what I'm about to talk about next, and then there might be a part 2 of this episode, or we might have it all together because we've done better with our timing than usual. Okay, so what else did I want to talk about today? So one of the things that has come up for me very recently and very usefully, and has taken about 15 years to even start to really get hold, is, do you know the theory called acceptance commitment therapy, ACT?
Yes. But just, headline. Please say more.
Okay, so there's an Australian therapist who I actually don't know if he created it or not, but certainly for me, he's the fellow that is the ACT guy, and his name is Russ Harris. So Russ Harris, I believe, is Australian or New Zealander. We always gather the New Zealanders in, so either way.
Take credit,
Yeah, I was going to say Australians say either way, New Zealanders go, no, sorry, not either way. Crowded House is from New Zealand. Even though they're not so clingy to Russell Crowe, which is interesting. Anyway, pavlova's ours. Okay, now I'll just go on from there. So he or other great thinkers developed acceptance commitment therapy. The basic idea is the emotion that you're having comes up, you accept the emotion. The commitment part is, what am I committed to in life? What are my values? And the therapy part is it heals you to do that, right? It makes your life more functional. So they use techniques in acceptance commitment therapy, like say you have a thought come up, I'm an idiot. They will get you to play with that thought in a way to make it meaningless. So they'll say you sing happy birthday to yourself, but with the words, I'm an idiot.
Yes.
I'm an idiot to me. And then as you do that, you go, that's ridiculous. And it helps the emotion pass or the thought pass. As I've just said that, I think I might have another look at his book and start to use some of those techniques, because I've known about that therapy for 15 or 20 years. I've been to a seminar with him. I have somewhat used it. But that really being okay with whatever emotion comes, it's been really tricky, because if I don't like the emotion, then I have resistance, and then I don't sing, you're an idiot. I'm like caught in it. Anyway, I had an experience of this week, and that's why I wanted to share about it. So for a very, very long time, I have had a thing around competitiveness or jealousy. You and I have talked about it.
Yeah.
It's somewhat eased over time, but it can still really get me. Can still really get me. And I get where it comes from. I'm the eldest. I was a performer as a child. I got my value from being literally applauded, right? So my theory has always been, when I see someone else succeeding, normally what will happen is I'll have a moment of joy for them, which is my true feeling.
Yes.
Quickly backed up by lots of other stuff.
Yeah.
And often the other stuff will be, initially it used to be feelings of kind of a combination of jealousy, tantrumy, like childishness reaction. So I've been working with it for a long time, but haven't had great success in moving it in the moment. And as you know, I do my Stefan Bodian meditation. I've been working with Lockie very successfully. And I had a couple of, the universe is so generous when you're trying to learn something, right? It just gives you 16 examples. So I had 16 examples in one day. And I trigger, right? And then I thought, as I worked through the emotions, I thought, I think I fundamentally have just not let myself feel how I actually feel. And therefore I get stuck in this resistance loop, incredible amounts of pain and self-loathing. What if I actually let myself feel how I felt?
Yeah, right.
So yesterday I do it for the first time and I go, how do I actually feel? Because the resistance comes in so quickly, I'm only actually feeling the resistance and then the resistance to the resistance right? So I'll feel, as it turns out, what I feel is afraid.
Of course.
Yeah, of course, right? It's always sadness, fear, they're the two. So I get the trigger. Because the resistance has so fast, I've had it that I'm jealous or childish or right. But when I actually get present, it's fear because I'm not doing what I should be doing, some story around that.
Yeah.
When I just sit with the fear and let it be there and not what I would normally do is cane myself for being childish, cane myself for being jealous, cane myself for being a bad person. Why aren't you celebrating their joy? What tiny slug of a human are you that you feel these ways, right? And yesterday I went, hang on, if I don't do that and just get in touch with the feeling and welcome the feeling. And what happened was instead of getting caught in this, one of the most painful loops of my life that's been running as long as I can remember, instead of that happening, I got the fear, then I let that sit there, and then this unexpected humour came up in me. And it was this combination of laughing at how seriously I was taking this experience and then also this disconnection from the other person in a really good way, like, you do you, boo. So whereas before I'd be like, oh, they're doing very well, I'm not doing well enough, this is bullshit. And then when I did it yesterday, it was like, oh, I feel afraid. Let that be there. What story am I telling myself about the fear, not about the resistance?
Yes.
I'm only new to it, so I'm still not probably as clear as I want to be. But there was this great first time ever release and relief if I just let myself feel how I was actually feeling. It's like I was breaching a moral code in myself when I felt whatever I felt that wasn't positive about someone else. If I didn't instantly celebrate what someone else was doing, the upset in myself, the disappointment in myself, the telling myself off was so loud that I just got lost in a prison of my own making.
Yep.
With what's his name? Like Raiders of the Lost Ark, swords coming at me that get stuck in me as then the boulder comes down and I'm going, don't feel this, as I'm like in the pit, with dying.
Yeah. Oh, I so see that in you now that you've explained it.
Do
that
you?
pattern. Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. That's a good mirror for me.
Yeah.
So we can talk about
So
more.
now every time it happens, I can just turn to you and say, what are you afraid of?
Yeah.
And then you'll slap me because
No, I felt as soon as you said, what are you afraid of? I felt the relief of the true feeling.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you said, what are you afraid of? It makes me do two things. One, realise fear is the true feeling, not the other.
Yeah.
And secondly, it reminds me what I've learned. So as you go, what are you afraid of? I go, oh, yeah, it's fear.
Yeah.
And then I kind of have that same laugh thing come up. And the laugh thing is actually kind of self-loving laugh, like instead of feeling not good enough, comparing myself to other people, that noise, the laugh is, who do you think you are? Like it's a self-loving laugh to go, anyone else can do whatever they like. One, you can't compare anyone to anyone. But secondly, why on earth, and this will sound arrogant, but I don't really mean it like that. Maybe it is a bit arrogant, but the part of me that laughs goes, like, you're awesome. Why are you, if someone does anything, that doesn't diminish you at all.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of funny. That's where the you do you boo comes from. It's like, I don't have to compete. There is no playing field.
That's fascinating to me because I also see on the other side that you use humour to deflect the jealousy. Because you'll often make jokes like when we talk about something and you'll have that reaction, you'll use humour as well, almost like satirically.
I don't think that's me
but
using.
that's not the real humour that
Yeah,
you were just talking about.
That's right.
That's
I don't
the cover
think
humour.
But you know what? I'm not even trying to be funny.
No.
Because what'll quite often happen is I'll react.
I'm learning that about you now.
Yeah, you'll laugh. I'll go, "Why are you laughing?"
Yes.
And we've shared on here
talked
before.
about that. Yeah.
You remember I've told stories. You were at the thing where we did the vision board, and I got upset with everyone for not taking me seriously, and everyone thought it was an anecdote.
Funny. Yes.
So definitely the tone I'll use, or I'll tell it like an anecdote. I'm in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
But then I'll say it, you laugh, or the group laughs, then I get shitty because I'm like, I'm actually upset. Everyone's like, but you're not telling it like you're upset.
Yeah.
Whereas you're right.
Now that I know you, I can say, what happened there?
Yeah.
What are you afraid of?
Yeah.
But it's taken me a while to learn that about you because you do it so well. Well, of course you do, because like you say, it's a story that you've had your whole life. So you've played this little pattern out so many times, you're very good at it.
Well, I've got to put on a show.
Yeah.
That's my job. I've got to put on a show. And now that I'm getting ekingly towards freedom from that, or not even ekingly, I'm getting greater freedom around that. But it's habitual. My job is to be of service and put on a show. So Lockie and I have been working on this. Yeah. Very interesting.
So did you spend a lot of time in that emotion of being afraid, and did it once you sort of sat there?
Yeah, once I sat there, it dissipated pretty quickly.
Interesting.
Then I wanted to challenge it to see if I could do it again. That was funny. And then I did it again today, and there's something... I don't know if you've had this, but the noise over the top of the true emotion can be very frightening and scary, but the true emotion normally isn't.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't feel like this, I'm a bad person, blah, blah, blah. That was very upsetting, hard to shift, convoluted. I just get lost in it, like I said, lost in the maze of pain. But when I went, how do I actually feel, not as language, but in my chest, in my stomach, what is that sensation, and sat with it, look at the thing, because normally I've looked at something, right? So something on social media, I've read something, I've seen someone announce good news for them, and I'll go, and when I thought, what is my first reaction? First reaction, split second, joy for the person, because my heart's in the background all the time.
Yeah.
Second sensation, I thought, what is that actually? When I don't bring in the resistance so fast and turn it into something else, what's there? Fear. Then when I stopped naming it, did Stefan Bodhi, sat in my body, fear, 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 fear. Then what story am I telling myself? Oh, well, if they're succeeding, I'm not. I have to. I'm not going to be good enough if I don't. And very quickly, once I tell that story and then release the story, that's when I want to laugh, because the revelation of, one, their story has nothing to do with me, but two, I've really misunderstood my value. Like, even if I was sitting on my driveway doing nothing, I've misunderstood my value in that comparison, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So the ease going, oh, they're just another human being doing their best.
Yeah.
And I'm not inferior to them. I'm not superior to them, but I'm not inferior to them. And then when I get that realisation, that's where it feels joyfully funny. And I think part of the joyfully funny is the enjoyment of the realisation that everything's okay, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be one, because it's so practiced in my mind, this reaction's so practiced, I think I will have to be pretty consistent with the other practice.
I agree.
Because it's ready to go, ready to go, ready to go.
Yeah.
And it's not the fear, it's the resistance. It's the, how bad a person are you that you feel jealous? How bad a person are you that you're not celebrating them properly? How bad a person, you're a piece of shit, plus you're a loser because they're succeeding and you're not. It's been the perfect painful trap for as long as I can remember. The only time I probably didn't have it is when I was in primary school and I was the star of everything. I hated it, but I didn't have this feeling because it was like,
isn't that interesting?
You're doing
and
this.
Everyone's got. It's so interesting then to also go, and everyone's got their thing. Like that's your thing.
That's my thing.
Everyone's got their own thing, and like you say, it all comes down to either the fear or the sadness type of
It is
underlying
always
thing.
underneath.
Yeah.
Lockie often says...
That's a really good example to talk
good,
through.
Good. You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel like when guests sometimes say after talking to me, I've got a bit of a vulnerability hangover, which we often get as feedback. I feel a little bit like that too because, well, the part of me that has reacted the way it's reacted with the resistance, that part has had a lot of shame. So as I share that part of me, it brings up the shame.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's a bit awkward.
Yeah.
But as always, I'm much more interested in what's the usefulness, what could someone else learn.
Yeah, because as you were talking, I was thinking about mine, and even though mine is different from yours, it still comes from that place.
It's getting down to the what is the real feeling and realising that, a bit like we've talked a lot here, tiger and kitten, walls of fear of paper thin.
Yes.
It's all right. Let's try not to resist. Try to let the real feeling come in because the real feeling will bring healing and much faster than you think it will.
Yeah.
So I shared, when I saw Lockie the other day, I asked him if he knew about The Guest House by Rumi. And Rumi, I think, was God. He was actually, I think he was a Persian prophet or philosopher in the 14th century. But he said many incredible things and many that I talk about here. And I just wanted to read The Guest House because it's up on my wall. I created it with a floral background. It's beautiful, but I'm still really practicing. And this conversation we've just had is about that practice. So The Guest House. This being human is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honourably. They may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them all at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. So that's what we're talking about. That's what I can do at times. That's what I don't do at times. And I'm a little bit like you've been helping me with when I'm in the weeds, what's going to come. I loved that because that was very good to help me with my positivity. It feels like that now. It's like, okay, I feel like I've started the process of actually being able to do this, and I've done it at different ways through the work with Lockie and Stefan Bodie, and I've already come a long way from the person that was pretty much just a prisoner in my head and never felt my emotions or body. But there's more to come, and the thought of being able to go, no matter what arrives, I can go, oh, hello.
Yeah.
Oh, because I have not had the experience of, oh, hello. I've been like, what the fuck now? No. Slam the door, like in a New York apartment. Lock everything, put my back against it, call 911.
Yeah, so interesting. That's very interesting to hear your reactions.
Is it?
Yeah, it really is because, mine are different, but still the same impact, same effect. So interesting. The human condition is fascinating.
Isn't it? And what are we...
And yet we all look at each other like none of this is going on.
None of it. Oh, how are you? Good?
Good. Great.
Yeah, good. Yeah, no, I'm always good. Always good. I was just trying to see. I thought I had something else about feeling what you're feeling, but I don't think I do. I just had another thing from Thich Nhat Hanh talking about true love. So that is, it's pretty exciting, and the thought of getting greater and greater freedom from this. I don't know about you, like for your version, but for me, the pain, it's been so painful. And because I've been in resistance, then it loops. So it likes to go on for a long time. It's not a 10-second pain. It can be hours or days when I've let it run and just keeps coming up. You're a piece of shit. Don't feel like that. Don't feel like that. Don't feel like that. And then, of course, all it does is go, hello, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Because you don't want to feel me, so I'm just going to keep knocking.
No. Yes.
And underneath is this little fear person going, I'm just actually afraid. And if you looked at me, you'd get really very fast relief. And so now I'm like, yay, fear, come on in. Come on in, baby.